Now back to the action with Jason.
Hello, welcome back to Festival Fishbowl. I'm gonna do that. What the hell? I feel like a mechanic. Right. G'day. Oh, see, this whole show is cut off my head all of a sudden. Right. We have Louise Blackwell here. Look at her. Yay. Well, sorry, that was a bit weird. Welcome to things. Highly organised thing that we do. What up? No, that's a weird question. That's not actually. That's an actual question. How are you?
I'm fair to middling. No, I'm very well, thank you.
Excellent, good.
Yes,
now
yes.
you're doing a show called Take Me Back to Paris.
Yes, that's right.
Because you're an Adelaide person, but you've lived everywhere, including Paris.
I lived in France for 10 years. I lived 1 year in Lyon. I went on a university exchange, and then I moved up to Paris, and I lived 9 years in Paris.
Sounds all right.
Yeah. 1 year just sort of turned into the next, and I was a student at university there.
Mm-hmm.
And because education's sort of free, very different to here, you can sort of do that, without having to pay thousands and thousands of dollars. And it was interesting actually because I went to the Adelaide Film Festival last night.
Oh yeah, you were saying before.
And it was great. It was Mrs. Carey's concert. It was this fantastic documentary about the music department of MLC College in Sydney, but it was all about education and music, and it was really uplifting. But Judy Davis got the Don Dunstan Award, and she came and she was just saying, wow, when I was at NIDA and stuff, it was free, we didn't have to pay. She said, I have a 23-year-old son, and it's like, education's so expensive these days and stuff. So yeah, she talked about that. It was quite interesting, and it does sort of make you wonder about, she just said, young people today, how do they get through it? It's life's so expensive and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway,
good.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, so actually, we haven't talked at all about the film festival. Have you seen any other stuff? It opened last night, didn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you've only seen one thing.
Yeah.
And was it good?
It was great.
And you said it was $80 to get in.
It was a sort of opening night ticket, and so there was, but there was a big party afterwards, and there was free alcohol and lovely nibbles.
How much were the tickets?
$80, I think, something like that.
Why are we wasting our time with fringe stuff? When
we should just be making films.
We should make films and charge $80 a ticket.
For $80 though, I'd expect my name to be in the credits.
Does it have to be a good film?
No, it's
awesome. I'm in. I can make a not good film.
I know. I've seen your creepy guy thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of like to have the whole event, and it was an opening thing.
Yeah.
So obviously, the films in the film festival aren't going to be $80.
Yeah. So it was like a gold class ticket.
So it was a sort of, So you paid, but it was lots of fun, and it was worth it. It was worth it.
Nice. Now you start your show on Sunday.
That's right.
And tell us about that.
Yes, so I've been playing here with the Bruce Hancock Trio.
All right.
And he's a beautiful pianist, Bruce Hancock, and John Away on the double bass, and Yuri Markov, who's a Russian-born drummer, and they're a beautiful jazz trio.
Yes.
And so we've done different gigs over the last year whilst I've been back in Adelaide, and I've just been developing more and more of the French stuff, and so I just sort of like, boom, what should we do, a show for the Fringe and Take Me Back to Paris, hint hint. And so it's a mix of there's this songs by Serge Gainsbourg, Juliette Greco. I studied with some great jazz singers over in Paris, and so jazz, and I played in the jazz scene in Paris and stuff with some great musicians over there. So the whole sort of celebration of jazz. There's a Miles Davis, Eddie Jefferson song, So What? Or, Miles Davis walked off the stage, still bopped as soon as the solo was over. Anyway, it's sort of so vocally sort of thing. And Georges Brassens, who's like one of the country's huge poets, and beautiful songs. So a couple of songs by him. Barbara, who is a beautiful poet and songwriter. So it's been great. And then I do a funny Dave Fishbowl, who's this sort of New York Jewish, quirky. It's called Another Song About Paris. So a funny thing about Paris. I do a couple of I do a Carmen McRae song.
Sounds like this.
So it's a
show
mix
goes
of
for
jazz.
6 hours.
No, it's a 1 hour show, but
Right.
it's a mix of some nice picked jazz
nice.
tunes, but then mainly French songs.
So you studied music in Paris?
Yeah.
Because Paris has an amazing kind of history with jazz, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
where all the American jazz guys went
Yeah, well, it was interesting because I just was reading about Miles Davis. In fact, Cité de la Musique is this amazing music event place, a museum, and they've got huge venues and stuff. I mean, La Mairie de Paris, and the culture, like the Minister of Culture there, it's huge. It's so huge. They spend so much money on culture there. It's a part of people's lives, daily lives. And there's a big exhibition about to start about Georges Brassens. Incredible exhibitions, these events, and there's been one about Miles Davis, there's been one about John Lennon, there's been one about Serge Gainsbourg, and the beautiful book that comes with it, beautiful photos of Miles Davis. And I think it's in 1949. He went over with the Tad Dameron Orchestra. He was a pianist, Tad Dameron, and it was after the war. And it was the first sort of gig, so he came over on a tour to Paris where they played. And that's where he met Juliette Gréco, and they had an amazing love affair. Like, he was married to Irene back in America, but had this beautiful love affair. And he also met Boris Vian, and Boris Vian is a writer and music. He wrote songs. I'm drunk. What is it? I'm drunk, je suis saoul. No, je bois systématiquement. I drink systematically. Great songs about
As my mental as anything, wasn't it?
life on the outskirts and stuff. Boris Vian took him into the Saint-Germain-des-Prés world, so he met a whole lot of intellectuals and poets and stuff. And it's not about being like this. It's about liberty of expression and stuff. And so they embraced Miles, and there's just a beautiful photo. He's just so happy, and he's where it was really difficult for African American artists in the States and stuff. He was celebrated over in Paris, and you can see that in the photo. There's this joie de vivre in his he's an incredibly elegant man.
So now, as an Australian performing in France, French songs.
Well, I did more jazz sort of there. I've been developing more French stuff over here. I did do his.
Are there a lot of Parisians coming over here and singing like the Road to Gunda guy? And how do you get along? Is there
some Guy Sebastian?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you don't have to answer that. It's a stupid question. Right, we're going to have to get you into the game. So, how's your lungs?
Oh dear. Okay.
You've been training this your whole life. You should be fantastic. So,
dear me.
Party, and you when you were
don't use my straw.
So do you understand the rules?
I mean, unless you want to use my straw.
No.
It's disgusting. No. Right, so all of them into there. You've got 60 seconds, and then I get to plug your show. So, time starts now. You can go. And Louise Blackwell.
I can tell I'm going to lose already.
Oh, wow. Because you keep talking. You might have to angle the cup for her so she can just kind of pour them in. There we go. Louise Blackwell's taking it back to Paris. It's on at the Nexus Cabaret space. That's Morford Street in the city, Morford Street Bridge kind of thing.
In her defence, singing is usually about
exhaling, isn't it? Well, she's good at putting them in, I'll be honest with you. Here we go. Now we're cracking on. It's this Sunday, the 27th. At 5 p.m. and then next Thursday, the 3rd of March at 7 p.m. Check your local guides. Is that what people say in these kind of? That was a good throw. Okay, she's up to 5. What am I gonna do? And while we're also doing this, I might as well give away some more tickets. So, hang on a second. There's some. Oh my God, my mum is watching.
And your mum knows how to use Skype.
I know. No, all she does is text me on Skype, and then you can't text back. It's very annoying, Mum. I wish you wouldn't do it. Right. Oh, blood! I bit my tongue.
I'm happy to be a loser.
How'd you do?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9.
9's a good number, I think.
Yeah, and know that is by far not the worst. We've had someone who barely
Scott
did
John
1.
did 5, didn't he?
Yeah. And that wasn't the worst either. Anyway, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you,
We've got to let you go
Jason.
because you've got to run away.
No, thank you so much.
No worries.
And I know I raved and raved, but maybe I stayed at the party a bit too long last night.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, it's
Well, you're doing okay for it.
A bit crazy energy. But anyway, I'll have a couple of good sleeps and be all fresh and ready to do some French chanson.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Louise Blackwell, we're going to come back with Francesca Martinez. Martinez? I should have... Martinez, you did this. Yeah. Okay, right. After this.
You're watching Festival Fishbowl live from PJ O'Brien's.